Let's talk about West Side Story. Hey guys, welcome back to Movie Kitchen on the video, and today I'll be sharing my thoughts on Steven Spielberg's latest filmography, that is West Side Story. This is a remake from the 1961 West Side Story, which is a film I adore. I love the original 1961 West Side Story. I've seen that movie countless of times. I love the music and the story. It's basically a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. We all know what kind of story that is from Shakespeare. And then a couple years back, it was announced that Steven Spielberg going to tackle the remake of West Side Story. At first, I'm excited because it's Steven Spielberg, one of my favorite filmmakers. He's the main reason why I want to become a filmmaker. And E.T., his film E.T., was the calling for me that I want to become a filmmaker. And E.T. had become one of my favorite films of all time, my number one. And it comes to no shock that I'm really looking forward to seeing the remake of West Side Story. And as soon as we saw the trailer, it was originally coming out last year, December 2020. Obviously, the pandemic got pushed back. Finally, it's coming out December 10th, 2021, and I saw an early screening. And I have to get this out of my chest. Yes, call me a Spielberg fanboy. I don't care. I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. This film is magic all over it. You can tell that Steven Spielberg actually cares about this film. You can show it actually showed the heart and soul into his mind that he wants this film to look one great and to tell the right story for the audience that it is worth getting remade. And obviously, I'm coming out very fresh after seeing this movie, and I cannot stop thinking about this movie. It's coming out of my mind, and bear with me, this review can be a mess, but I'm gonna go the cons, then pros, and my overall final thoughts on this movie. So my con of this film is that honestly, the more I think about it, the more that I do not have any cons with this film. I couldn't find the right pick. What are the cons in this movie? It's hard for me because I just got out seeing West Side Story. I just barely got out seeing West Side Story, and it's still fresh in my mind. And I'm trying to pick around what are my cons in this movie. Obviously, it's the same story. That's the only gripes with this movie is that it's the same story, but they took a little bit to do something different and unique and expanded a little bit more to the story, and that was my con. I mean, my pro. Um, so basically, the only con that I have is that it's the same story that we've seen from the original 1961 story. But, however, now we get to the point in the pros section of this review. The story, they expanded the story a little bit more. They fleshed out more of the characters, including Chino, Bernardo, that's my name, funny enough. They flesh out a little bit more backstory to their and more personality into them. For example, Bernardo is a boxer. That's actually pretty cool, like a little extra touch to the character that wasn't mentioned, that didn't mention in the original 1961 film or the Broadway musical. It's nice that we get to see more of the character development, more flesh out, having more a little bit more layers into them, and it's really refreshing to see that there is something new to the table for this remake. I was worried going in like this could be shot for shot, and it is not shot for shot. Thankfully, there's something different and unique, and Steven Spielberg has a great vision to do something new to the table. And my other favorite part of this movie is the direction that Steven Spielberg gives in this movie. Obviously, his direction in every movie that he made is always going to be exceptional. You can tell that he had a great hands into it, that he actually cares and respect and dedication to it. Like it shows that he actually cares about this source of material, and it shows in the movie that it's a great, good-looking movie. It looks beautiful. The cinematography by Janusz Kaminski is beautifully shot. Obviously, Janusz and Steven Spielberg have been collaborating for a long time, which the film that they made together, and it looks breathtaking. It looks cinematic and beautiful and spectacle as well, and has magic into this. It looks beautiful, and the music is wonderful. It's very energetic. You feel the moves that you are tap dancing or you're dancing along with it, and I was just having a blast watching this movie. It just felt magical. Something about this film is felt magical, and I think because it had great care with Steven Spielberg and Tony Kushner, who wrote this remake, um, which they brought something new to the table, which was really refreshing for my eyes, because I've seen the original as many times. I cannot think how much I've seen the original, and seeing that they brought something new to the table is like bring a big smile on my face, because you can tell that yes, they remain the same identity with what made West Side Story great, but at the same time expanding a little bit more into the world that the Puerto Ricans and the Americans lives, and that time period that lives, and why they are battling each other. And it's just really cool to see more of the character, and like each of the sidekicks, the side characters have more personality into them. Like Chino, for example, has more personality into it than the original has. He was the sideline, the character. He didn't have much dialogue in the remake. There's more dialogue into this, and yeah, and I really love the fact they did not even subtitles. They didn't even put the subtitle for the Mexican speaking, the Spanish language. When some certain characters, the Puerto Ricans, were speaking nothing but Spanish, and I mean, I'm Mexican. I understand Spanish. I speak Spanish. My family is Mexican. They speak Spanish. I'm a bilingual, so I couldn't understand what they're speaking. But I think it was a ballsy move for Spielberg to not put subtitles and make the integrity of the the language, respect the language that Spanish is, and I thought it was lovely. But while the music is great, the cinematography is great, the direction is beautifully done, and I love the editing in this movie. It's fantastic, especially the musical numbers. It's beautifully done. It's kinetic, it's fast paced, it's wonderful, and it's very well put together, and the performance, all the cast is well done. But I think I'm gonna put her name on the title of this video. Is I gotta talk about Rachel Segura for a moment. I need to talk about Rachel Segura in this review. I think she deserved the main spot of this review. She was the highlight of this movie. She's the heart and soul of the remake of West Side Story. She blew me away. At first, when I saw the trailer, I'm like, oh my god, I think she's gonna nail it as Maria. But when you see the movie, when you see the final product, she is Maria. Rachel Segler is Maria. She embodies Maria. Her voice, her emotions, the performance that she gives, especially during the third act of the film, if you know what I'm talking about. She brings her A game. Her portrayal as Maria is just simply amazing, phenomenally good. She had the innocent side, but yet, her own side. Basically, what I'm trying to say, that's she's growing up as her own. Basically, she is Maria, and she fell in love with Tony, and something about her performance, Rachel Segler's performance, just blew me away. It's just, I don't know what it is, but it could be her voice, it could be her emotion, it could be her embodiment as Maria. But something about her is very human-like. And her performance is just one of the best. One of the best performance I have ever seen in recent years. And Rachel Segler did an incredible job as Maria. Dude, Rachel Segler is Maria. I mean, I cannot stop thinking about her performance. It's just transcendent. I mean, there's not enough to describe her performance. It's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, it's wonderful, cute. I mean, it's Maria. I mean, she is Maria. The way I see her, I don't see Rachel Zegler. I see Maria. And her performance just blew my socks off. And her voice, oh my god, the range that she has, it's just an experience to watch. Hearing her voice just makes my heart, I don't know, warm. But yet, you actually care for Maria. You actually respect Maria. You actually follow what Maria's mind is. And her voice does that to the audience, especially me. I was listening to her. And her emotion that she gives, I don't know. I'm praising over Rachel Zegler. The fact this is her first film in a Steven Spielberg film. She brought her A game. She brought everything she has, and her voice, her performance is just phenomenal. I mean, she is Maria. Come on. And honestly, I think Rachel Zegler outperformed Natalie Woods as Maria. I prefer her performances over Natalie Wood's performance in the original 1961 version of West Side Story. Not because she's an actual Latina, like I'm a Latino, which is great that they cast an actual Latino reputation basically, and make me happy because I'm a Latino. But it's just her performance just blew me away. It just made an impact to the story and the film. It made the film even so much better because of her performances, and seeing her journey to fall in love with Tony and something bad happens. If it's in the movie, the original, the musical, or this particular remake, you know what's going to happen. But her performances, I didn't expect. I didn't know how she's going to convey her emotion. And there's a track in the movie between Anita and Maria. I cried. I was engaged to her performance. My eyes was locked to her performances, especially Rachel Zegler is Maria. Rachel Zegler is Maria. Come on. So yeah, I had to dedicate a little portion of this review of Rachel Zegler as Maria. Something about her performances. It's either Steven Spielberg direction, or is it just the script, or is it making her own. I don't know what she did. I don't know how she did it. Obviously, I discovered that she has her YouTube channel, and I saw her older videos, her performing, and my goodness, she's a phenomenal actress, and her voice is beautiful, and it shows that she is Maria, and Steven Spielberg chose her for a reason, and boy oh boy, this Steven Spielberg made a right decision to cast Rachel Zegler, an unknown, who has now become a rising star, and her performances as Maria made a great impact, and a lot of people are going to recognize West Side Story by her performances alone. Rachel Zegler performances by as Maria is one of a kind. It's beautiful. It's heartbreaking, and it's just I adore her performances. It's just the nuance, the voice, it's everything about what Rachel Zegler brings in this film. It's just spectacular to watch. My eyes was glued to the screen and glued to her performances. She was the highlight of this movie. She is the heart and soul of this movie. Don't get me wrong, the entire cast, Ansel Elgort, Ariana DeBose is phenomenal as Anita. Oh my god. David Alvarez, Rita Moreno as Valentina, she's great. Corey Stoll is great too. Mike Feist as Rick is great. He made it on his own, make a different spin on it. Josh Andres Rivera as Chino. Whoa, what a performance is! What a performance by Josh Andres Rivera as Chino. I mean, all the cast all around is phenomenal done. It shows that they brought their A game by the choreography, by the music numbers, by their voice. You can tell that they brought their talent, they brought their heart and soul into this project, and it shows the hard work, the dedication, the respect to the characters, believing their character, respecting the characters, and at the same time, this is Steven Spielberg's film, and this is his first full-on musical movie. He had done like musical numbers in some movies, like Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, but it shows that this is a passion project from him, and I just adore this particular iteration of West Side Story. Not the fact that I'm a Spielberg fanboy, it's just this film made an impact after I finished watching this movie. Not as a big impact like what E.T. did for me in my youth and through my teenage years, and now I'm a struggling film student because and what made this movie so great that they brought their own spin on it. This is the remake. Yes, we're following the same story, but they brought something new to the table. They added something more levity, more weight to it, and it's beautifully shot. It's wonderful. I was engaged. I was glued to the screen. Something about this movie just screams magical and special. Rachel Zegler's performance made the film worth it, and yeah, I adore this movie. I actually do. It was an experience. At the same time, Spielberg brings something that remains the same heart and soul of the original, but at the same time making it new for upcoming audiences that they would discover that this will be their first time watching West Side Story, or wanting to watch the original after seeing this remake and curiosity what this original is like. And I think what I experienced watching the remake of the West Side Story, I can feel that this is different than the original. And this is the type of movie I feel doesn't be made today, but only Spielberg does. Like, he brought something very beautiful and exciting, engaging. There's a lot of heart, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of happiness going on in this movie, and the musical numbers just bring a big smile on my face, and I would thoroughly enjoy this movie. Not only enjoying the movie, but loved this movie. My heart was racing, my heart was expanding. Now, honestly, in the end of the day, I actually prefer this remake over the original. The more I think about this movie, the more I love this movie. I don't know, something about it. Spielberg brought it. He brought his A game. He brought his heart and soul into this movie. And then on top of that, Rachel Zegler's performance made an incredible impact in this movie. Made this movie 10 times better, if that makes any sense. There you have it, guys. That's my thoughts on Steven Spielberg, West Side Story. And what can I say? I love this movie. And especially Rachel Zegler's performance. Anyhow, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Link below. Have a good one. Take care.